So welcome, 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 our brilliant and beloved colleague Mischka. We so appreciate your consistent leadership and solidarity. And as always at Setsi, we begin all conversations by giving thanks to our creator, by giving thanks to the original stewards of the various lands we're on. We give thanks to all our ancestors, all those who toiled without compassion or compensation. We give thanks to all our elders and community stalwarts whose shoulders we stand on as we build, share, and learn together for our collective liberation and sovereignty. So, Mischka, can you please introduce yourself to our listeners and viewers and share a bit about your remarkable work?
That's first of all, what a beautiful opening. And thank you so thank you so much for having me here. Hello to all the listeners and viewers. I'm truly honored to be here today to talk to Victor. My name is Mischka Crichton. I'm the CEO of Toronto Caribbean Carnival. Um, and I oversee, not by myself, thank goodness, but North America's largest celebration of Caribbean culture and traditions. And this festival not only showcases the vibrant diversity of Caribbean culture and arts, but it also fosters great community engagement, intercultural understanding, and economic empowerment, not only in Toronto, but Ontario and Canada. And I will share some of those numbers with you. But, all of this is done through the beautiful Carnival arts which is near and dear to me. And, through music, steel pan, soca, calypso, dance, and beautiful elaborate costumes from the individual size to big, huge, big mass costumes. We do it all, but it's all a part of our culture and traditions.
That's absolutely beautiful. One of my youngest memories of entrepreneurship and leadership was my aunties and my mom and my father, and my uncles vending a caravan. I was about 7 years old. There's a picture of me so when I tell you that you're doing remarkable work and your impact is felt, it's like I applaud you and your remarkable colleagues for just everything you're doing for so many. So my next question, what's inspiring you right now? What has you curious or what's keeping you up at nights?
Wow, what is inspiring me and keeping me up at night? What inspires me on a personal level. For sure, I only need to look to myself or my mother and my sister. It's that close to me to see how this carnival impacts the individual and the individual families. I have been so lucky to be able to say that my parents didn't have to get on a plane to teach me about where we came from and what we were about, how we do, how we live, how we gather. It was all available to me here in Toronto. And even though I was blessed, every other summer, my mom would make it a mission. My mom and my Auntie Sandra, my grandma, all of us would pack up and go to St. Vincent. I have my flag in the background, and spend 4 to 6 weeks there. I'm so blessed that I got to do that. However, I also like to tell people that what my family did in the summer wasn't, summer vacation or summer camps. We did the mass camp. I was there from a very young age. I've been playing mass in Toronto since I was 4 years old. So I've done the University Avenue and, I've cut and glued and done all of those beautiful pieces. But all of that to say, it was my culture and my people who made me a CEO. It was my culture and my people who said, we see you and we think you have some special gifts and talents. And, I wondered what would I be a master in, You go through life and you're just trying to sort it all out, only to kind of be surprised to see how much time, effort, and passion has gone into my carnival life, but to not necessarily have the viewpoint or looking at it as a career or the beautiful ecosystem, the economics that you talked about, entrepreneurship. And that is also what keeps me up at night, is the impact that it has on this big, beautiful community that we have here. People say the mom and pop shop to, small, medium-sized businesses to the entrepreneur that's just starting out or you've been in the game forever. This carnival has an ecosystem of businesses that also rely on it. The carnival's revenue from participating in the carnival is a budget line item for a lot of businesses in their year, in their forecasting, in making sure that they're able to continue to keep their business healthy. But I just see the carnival as such a powerful vehicle for our culture and to further liberate us. I think we still are living the effects of being enslaved. We're still living some uh, kind of an oppressed life. And this carnival is a celebration of our freedom, that it came from that, but also it's a celebration of this beautiful cultural vehicle, being able to emancipate us further with economic emancipation. And that keeps me up at night, wanting to make sure that it continues to do what it's supposed to do for us.
That's absolutely beautiful. Carnival, I think, is something so important to our community, and it really shares the cultural imperatives of emancipation, liberation, and sovereignty. And I think that the work that you and your team are doing truly demonstrates Black excellence, African excellence, Caribbean excellence in terms of community economic development, social impact, and social innovation. So once again, let's applaud all that you do. And hopefully things are becoming easier and easier because you're doing a phenomenal job as CEO. So my next question, it's a perfect segue. What are some of the challenges and barriers you and your team are going through, and what are some of the approaches you're taking to overcome some of these challenges and barriers?
Last year leading up to the festival, I was in the news myself and our executive chair, Jennifer Herlihy, um, advocating for more funding from all levels of government. And it comes to a surprise to many people that on average, the festival receives less than $1 million of funding from all three levels of government combined, municipal, provincial, and federal. On top of that, we also have to manage the growing logistical demands of an ever-growing festival. Our festival started out when my mom first came to Canada. Um, it was a 2 hour parade, and it has now grown to welcome 2.3 million attendees. That was our number last year in 2023. $480 million in economic impact, and also $180 million of combined tax revenues to all levels of government. So those are really big, huge, impactful numbers. However, with the level of funding we receive, we have to continue to advocate in a strong way and in the correct way. Because one of the things that's a challenge to us here as immigrants, as a second generation immigrant, is we don't necessarily know what you're supposed to do to get what you need. Um, and for us, part of my work has been understanding how to advocate, how to lobby for funding from the different levels of government. And through that, I've learned, and the Carnival, for the first time ever in its 56 years, this is our 57th year that the festival will be happening. It's the first time that the Carnival has had a lobby day, and that was at the provincial level. And it's not because we didn't want to. It's also because I think that as immigrants to this country, sometimes we're not aware of the processes or the things that you need to engage in to get what you want. So that's also part of what I'm here and what I'm doing. And I would say that I think it's going extraordinarily well. Just like law, the government doesn't move extremely fast. However, we are advocating for more support and employing, strategic partnerships to ensure that the festival continues to have financial sustainability. But that's the biggest challenge I have right now. And in addition to that, to overcome and create more financial sustainability is also looking at this festival. It belongs to the community. It's run by the community. However, it's still a business. It needs to generate some kind of revenue, even though we are nonprofit. So diversifying our revenue streams, having a merch program, ensuring that there are additional ways when we're showing up in the community at all different levels, that we also are making sure that our economic needs are also being addressed in exchange for what we offer, because the Toronto Caribbean Carnival is one of the reasons why Toronto and Canada gets to say it's a culture rich with diversity rich with so much beautiful cultural traditions. We contribute to that in a really great way.
Yeah, that's beautiful. I'm always still shocked that like cities aren't bidding on Carnival in the city, because Toronto's always
Now,
caught
bring up
fly.
something very interesting. You're absolutely right. You know, the Caribbean Carnival, we continue to grow. Um, it's easy to say, to look and say, like, where could this carnival move to? Especially with the growing attendance levels. We're getting to a point where just the footprint of what exists for the carnival, I don't know how long it will be able to hold, the trajectory of what we're doing here. It might be a very real consideration that not the whole festival, but pieces of it. Some people don't know that there are 4 weeks of events from June 15th. We're launching, and we don't stop till August the 5th. So there's an opportunity there for the festival to grow and move around to other areas of the GTA.
Incredible. So it's a perfect segue to my next question. Do you have a set of key priorities right now in your work you'd like to amplify to our listeners and our viewers?
Absolutely. I mean, I talked a little bit about the funding, but something that has, or not something, part of our strategic plan is ensuring that our educational and cultural programming can survive. We have a program called the Building Black Entrepreneurship Program, and that's in conjunction with George Brown College. It's a free program. This is the third cohort, so the third year that this program is being run. 10 months long. You go to classes that at the end you graduate with a certificate in entrepreneurship from George Brown. But this program alone has created 130 new businesses, 400 new jobs, and $2 million of economic impact. And one of the most beautiful things about it is it really is for all ages, from the mature high schooler to the university student to we had a family do the program, two sons and a father. And the father, it was his first time having some kind of formal education in Canada. And he also ended up being the valedictorian, which I think is, I don't know, I can't tell you what it did for everybody that was there at the ceremony to see the sons also being so proud of the father and this family that did this thing together. But that's one of the beautiful things that we do. So also integrating Caribbean arts and culture into our local education curriculum. Recently, our education minister, Minister Lecce, mandated that there will be Black history embedded into the curriculum for elementary school and for high schoolers. And part of our advocacy is ensuring that we make sure that our children are represented in that as well. I was a kid that grew up being so involved in Carnival, but never talked about it at school, never shared it at school, never expressed that part that was such a huge part of my life. I didn't share that with, friends, and the environment didn't welcome, sharing of differences. And we want to make sure that our children not only see themselves being celebrated by their students, by their classmates, and by their teachers, but the impact to be able to bring that piece of yourself to school is everything. And the final key priority that's so important to me right now, and is a little bit more of a long-term one, is we don't have our own building. We believe that we need our own Caribbean cultural center, and that it's about time, going into our 57th festival year, that we're able to do this. And that is all also a part of deepening the cultural understanding of Caribbean people, but also the economic involvement of the Caribbean diaspora in Canada. We want to break down some of the barriers of access to our community. And even having a building, not only will it house our educational programs, but many people in our community pay very expensive venue rental fees. For example, our mass bands, our steel pan groups, we have some steel pan groups that are practicing under a bridge right now. We have bands that are shelling out tens of thousands of dollars to be able to put on their band launch. We want to be able to be that hub for the community. and to ensure that the dollar can stay a little bit longer in our community as well. So those are my key priorities right now at a high level. And I mean, underneath those are things like making sure the masquerader experience is improved. I really believe that if we improve everyone's experience in the festival by 10% each year, from logistics people, from attendees, masqueraders, from the steel pan, calypsonians, to even the CEO, that everyone's experience will feel elevated by even more than that 10%. But those are the my key priorities right now.
That's incredible. A lot of people don't know the intersectional approach y'all are taking to community impact and social innovation. So once again, I really appreciate you amplifying all these initiatives, programs, and ways that you're having deep impact on the community. So I appreciate you.
Thank you.
So my second last question, what is your ultimate goal? And what does success look like and feel like to you and your colleagues?
Oh, wow, my ultimate goal. Our ultimate goal is to ensure that the Toronto Caribbean Carnival not only continues to thrive as a premier cultural event, but that it also continues to serve as a catalyst for social and economic empowerment. Um, I see this festival as being able to do so much for everybody in our community. And when I say our community, I mean Caribbean community, the entire Canadian community, and anybody truly that is a part of a marginalized community worldwide. Success means to us that the festival is financially sustainable, that it is deeply integrated into the cultural fabric of Canada, and that it's a platform that uplifts all participants and all stakeholders. You know, I think about the fact that my sister was a 9-time carnival queen. That's the most of anybody in any Caribbean carnival. And I want to ensure that our next queens, whether you win 1, 2, 5, whatever it is, that it matters out there too. I want this festival to be a platform for our young people. I want this festival to ensure that it will give them solid footing and foundation to jump off of, and to take it to the next level and to do the next step. Because at the end of the day, it really is all about our legacy and those that come after us.
Shay, thank you. So my last question, do you have any closing thoughts or calls to action for our listeners and our viewers?
Absolutely. I really want to I want to invite everybody to enjoy the Toronto Caribbean Carnival. I want to invite you to join us in celebrating and supporting this incredible community asset, whether it's attending the carnival, volunteering, or advocating for enhanced funding from our leaders. Your involvement is crucial. We need you. We cannot do it ourselves. It will take the advocacy, the involvement in the hands of every single one of us, just like it took our aunties, uncles, and grandparents to get this festival off the ground in 1967. It's our job. We are the stewards of this festival now. We cannot just rest on our laurels, rest on the work that our ancestors have already done. We have to pick up the baton and keep pushing and keep going because, as I said, this festival is a vehicle for our further liberation and emancipation. And together we can ensure that the Toronto Caribbean Carnival remains a vibrant celebration of Caribbean heritage and a vibrant and vital contributor to not only our overall society, but to each and every one of our lives. So, I just leave it with, we have a collage up in the boardroom that has pictures of everybody's young person that's with them. And I have my nephew on it. And anytime the job gets hard, people say, is your job so much fun? Is it so hard? And I say, it's so emotional. It is the most emotional job I've ever tasked myself with. And that's because it's so personal to all of us. And every day I think about the young people coming behind us and making sure that when they come in here, they don't say, what have they been doing for 50x years? What have they been doing for 100 years? I want them to be thankful and grateful for what we've done and to be able to continue the torch. So I leave everybody with, put your hands in. It takes many hands make light work. So please join us.
It's incredible. Thank you so much, Mischka, for your tenacity, your self-determination, your resilience, your visionary leadership, and the remarkable authenticity that you bring to this work. And as always at Setsi, we close all conversation interviews by giving thanks to our creator, by giving thanks to the original stewards of the various lands we're on. We give thanks to all our ancestors, all those who toiled without compassion or compensation. We give thanks to all our elders and community stalwarts whose shoulders we stand on as we build, share, and learn together for our collective liberation and sovereignty. Thank you so much, fam. I appreciate your leadership.
I say thank you.